Good morning. It's day 113 and I am exhausted. Oops, spider web. Oh, it was another mostly sleepless night. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm just so tired that I can't sleep. Tossing and turning all night. But that's okay. Back up and at it again this morning. The goal today is to get to Lake of the Clouds hut and try for work for stay. If not, they have what they call the dungeon that fits 6 people, and it's $10 to stay in there, and I'll try for that. So wish me luck, because otherwise I don't know what I'll do, because that would make today like a 21.9 mile day, I think. And after that, it's all above tree line. It's climbing up to Mount Washington from there, and then you go across the rest of the presidentials before you get below tree line. So there's no way I could do it. So hopefully they let me stay one way or the other. But that's the goal. If I'm not feeling up to it, there is Mizpah hut and then a tenting area there that's a few miles before Lake of the Clouds that I could stop at as well. So that's a possibility. But today, going to Lake of the Clouds, believe it or not, the elevation gain and loss is less than I have been doing the last 2 days. So there's that. My legs, every muscle in my legs is so sore. I have not had a workout like this in ever. It's just tons of steep step ups and steep step downs. Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you yesterday when I was at Gayhead Hut, I overheard a woman talking to somebody else. And I'm pretty positive she was a thru hiker, because she said she was quitting her hike. She goes, I hate to, and this is what made me think she's a thru hiker. She goes, I hate to do this with only 300 and some miles left, which is northbound. If you're going, there's only like, I forgot, 300 and some. And she goes, I hate to do it, but she's like, this terrain is just too hard. She goes, I didn't know that I was going to be bouldering up and down all day long, because there is no flat here. There's like 2 miles of flat in the entire Whites. But she's like, so I might just go south and hike. And then she said, and then she never got a trail family, and that she's been very lonely. And I'm like, lady, you're almost done. How do you get to the Whites and then quit? Oh, I didn't say anything to her because it's none of my business, but like, you don't need a trail family. You got trail friends out here, I'm sure. Like me, I don't have a trail family, but got plenty of people that I talk to on a daily. So, I don't know. That kind of made me a little sad to hear that somebody's going to quit their hike after this far. But, you know, gotta do what you're going to do. So, I will catch you guys up trail. Took a short little side trail to come see Zealand Falls. So it looks like I should have some fairly decent terrain for the next several miles. And then I start to do a big descent again. Love these descents. And then I start really climbing. I'm talking like 10 miles worth of climbing. So that should be fun. Sorry I didn't show you guys the hut again. basically, yesterday night, that hut, and then this hut this morning, they look exactly like that first hut I showed you, just much, much smaller. I'll try my hardest to remember to record the next hut that I come to. I'm sorry, guys. It's just, my brain is not thinking. I'm just going in. I asked if I could buy breakfast, but they don't sell it. And so, she said they start giving out leftovers after the breakfast service is done, but that's not till 8:30. I got there at 6:30. I was not waiting 2 hours just to have breakfast. That would be a lot of miles. Well, not a lot in this train, but it would be several miles I could get in. So, oh well. Maybe the next hut I can get soup. I still have that free bowl of soup coming to me. And then hopefully maybe some baked goods. We'll find out. All right, let me get to hiking. Look at how gorgeous this trail is right here. It's flat and no rocks. Please tell me this goes on for a while. Let me just have this little stretch, please. So you guys might be wondering, why is this crazy girl pushing 20s through the whites? Especially when she said she was going to slow down. Well, I have a reason behind my madness. It's because when I went into the whites on, it was a Friday, they predicted sunny and beautiful weather Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And each day that I've been able to get enough reception to check, that weather forecast has stayed the same. However, come Tuesday and Wednesday, Tuesday, they're predicting rain and thunderstorms likely in the afternoon. And Wednesday, they're talking rain and thunderstorms possibly throughout the whole day. Well, I don't want to be out here hiking in that, obviously. And especially, even if it wasn't thunderstorming and it was just raining. One thing I've learned about the whites is you do not want to be doing it when the rocks are wet. The whole trail is rocks. So, my goal, at the very least, was to get up and over Mount Washington by Monday. Because that's the biggie. That's the big one. And then figure out the rest from there if it's raining. And by doing these 21-mile days, I will. Because tomorrow is Monday. And as long as I can get to, at the very least, Mizpah Hut, but hopefully Lake of the Clouds, I will be going over Mount Washington tomorrow while it's still supposed to be sunny. So that is a fantastic thing. And then I can deal with the possibility of rain and that later on when I'm not going over Washington. Ideally, especially Tuesday, if it's not supposed to rain till the afternoon, I'm really hoping to push it to get as close as possible to the end of the whites as I can. That way, hopefully I can avoid the rain during the day. And then Wednesday, if it's raining during the day, I'm hoping I'll have like maybe 10 more miles left or something like that to get out. So, we'll see. Everything is always play by ear out here. Bridge crossing. never ceases to amaze me how rude some people can be. So I'm walking on this muddy, boggy area, and I'm on these rocks, and I'm trying to rock hop, and there's some boards a little bit further up, and there's this woman and her dog coming. They're on the boards, and apparently I'm assuming it was her husband behind her, and like I said, I'm on these rocks trying to stay out of the bogs. She keeps coming. She gets off the board and starts going on the rocks, and she goes, "It would be easier if I just pass you." As she's hopping on the same rock I'm standing on, I had to completely stop moving so that way I didn't hit her. And I'm like, you were on 2 boards. All you had to do was stop for 1 second, stand sideways, and let me get on the board and walk past you. The guy behind stopped, and he goes, "Here, you can go ahead. I got room over here." And he let me pass. I said, "Thank you, I appreciate it." I'm like, wow, lady, are you in that much of a rush that you couldn't wait like literally 5 seconds longer? Ugh. God. Oh yeah. All this mud, baby. The terrain since leaving Zealand Hut has been uber easy, but it's about to come to an end, because very soon I'm going to start my big descent into the notch, and then that giant climb up for like 10 miles. That's going to be fun. Although I'm more concerned about this descent coming up than I am the climb, but I can do this. To my happiness, this descent has been pretty normal. Like the last half mile has gotten pretty steep, but there's no boulders to climb down, no sitting on my butt and scooting down. It's just normal trail, just a little steeper. So thank goodness. This half of this morning, besides the climb down to Zealand, that was pretty slow. But after Zealand, man, it's been pretty normal, I should say, for terrain, and gosh, what a reprieve. So now I'm thinking, was I spoiled for the first half of my day, and then the second half is gonna probably be like mountain climbing, like literal climbing, because it's gonna be a big one. I'll let you guys know how many miles I have up to the huts and the elevation gain and descent I'll have as soon as I sit down for my lunch. When I get to this road, I'm gonna find a little spot and sit down and eat and fuel up before I get to climbing. Alrighty, the first peak that I have to reach is in 3.4 miles, and it climbs just shy of 2,700 feet. So it's gonna be a nice one. Sorry, I'm chewing on candy. Wow. Hershey's cookies and cream bar. But I had a wrap. Now eating this. I'm gonna get to hiking. I am running a little low on food, so hopefully I can get some food from the huts, even if it's just baked goods. And because I only have a couple snacks left, and I gotta make that last me the next few days. Woo! Worst case scenarios, when I get to Pinkham Notch, I can always get a shuttle out into Gorham, get more food, resupply, and come back. I just don't want to do that if I don't have to. Oh boy, this is going to be a long afternoon. Going all the way up there. Okay, that was a little insane. I just had to climb up this. You can't even see it. This was just nuts. If you can see the trail down there, I had to come from all the way down there, all the way up here, and here I am. And I'm still climbing.
But, you know, it was 25 degrees, 80-mile-an-hour winds and snow.
With wind chill, it was probably like closer to 0.
Yeah. And I talked to one guy who actually was up here, and he was saying, your food, your cookies, put it in your hand, and they'll come down and pick it out of your hand.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, there's coming down off of Mount Webster. Soon going to be climbing up Mount Jackson. Woo. This is beautiful, fun, hard day. I'm loving today. I just came around this corner and Mama Grouse with her babies. Where is it? There it is. All the babies flew into the trees, but Mama ran that way somewhere. They startled me. There was like 5 babies and Mama. It was so precious. Oh, a rock wall. Oh, sorry, bug in my face. A rock wall, right? That's what you think. This is not just any wall. This is the trail. Oh boy. You can see Mount Washington. I will be there tomorrow. I think that over there, I think that might be the Mizpah hut. I'm headed that way first and then to Lake of the Clouds. Oh my gosh, that's insane. I can see Washington from here. This mud is very, very, very deep. I started sticking my trekking pole into some of it because I had to jump over a little bit of it to see how deep it was. It kept going. I didn't want to put my entire trekking pole in, so I stopped, but it was like halfway up my trekking pole. Thank God for these boards.
And what did you mention again? How the meals were?
Oh. Isn't this nice? Ladders. I like ladders. So at the hut, I had potato dill soup, which is free because of my Thru hiker pass. So now I've officially cashed in on both my baked goods and my bowl of soup, so no more free stuff. Bummer. But, oh, and the brownies, those peppermint ones from yesterday, forgot to mention, when I opened up the bag I put them in, it reeked of peppermint, and I was so worried I wasn't going to like them. I didn't taste a lick of peppermint, so that was awesome. So I ate them both. Whew. Now I'm climbing up to Mount Pierce, the first in the presidential range. Is this seriously not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in your life? Oh my gosh. And Mount Washington is looking so incredibly close. I will be up there in the morning. Oh my gosh. Does anybody else get the Emerald City from Wizard of Oz vibe from seeing that up there, the Washington stuff? I have 2.6 more miles to the Lake of the Clouds hut, and it is 2:55. So I'm hoping to get there by about 4:30. We shall see. But they start taking work for stays at 4, and this place only allows 4 work for stays. Actually, that's the most. All the rest of the huts only take 2 because they're much smaller. But this one's a big hut. So hopefully they'll still have a work for stay, but if not, they have 6 bunks in the dungeon, which is in the basement, and apparently it really looks like a dungeon, which is why it's called that. It is nothing nice or anything. That's $10 for through hikers, so hopefully that will be available if there's no work for stays. Whew. Whoa, geez, oh Pete. I mean, I am going to get there relatively early. I don't think most hikers, unless they started their day early and are coming from sooner, like further north than I did, would get there this early. But you never know. So I'll let you guys know when I find out what happens with me. There she is. There's Mount Washington with all those towers. Oh my God, I'm getting so close. This is insanity. And it's so gorgeous up here. I mean, just look. ...360-degree views. This is the most breathtaking thing ever. Actually, Franconia Ridge was out of this world, but I think the presidential range is my favorite. This is just so cool. I am 0.7 away from the hut. It is 10-4. Please cross your fingers for me that there's work for stay. Because see, not only does the work for stay, they let you sleep on the floor inside the hut, so you're out of the elements. But after dinner time, they let you eat as much leftovers as you want. And that is what I want, in exchange for about 2 hours of work. From what it sounds like, it's typically like sweeping floors, cleaning up the bunks and stuff like that, which I'll scrub toilets if it means I can sleep inside the hut on the floor and have as many leftovers as I want. Make me do your worst duties, I don't care. There it is. There's the hut. And it is 4 o'clock on the dot. Please. Oh, please let me get work for staying. Oh, I have no clue how many other hikers have come through here asking. But I'm hoping I'm super lucky. I'm like hustling it, trying to get there. Woo! So I got work for stay. I got the 4th and final spot. So yay! Only problem is, typically they don't start you work until 8 o'clock at night. And they ask for about 2 hours of work. But then you get to eat all the leftovers. And she goes, you guys will feast, don't worry. And then you get leftover breakfast too, but I won't be here for breakfast. I am up and out. So I don't know if I'm going to record much else after this. If I do, put it at the end. If not, I'll talk to you guys in the morning.
So we could take some.